No video game system truly defined gaming for me as a youth until the Nintendo Entertainment System. This gray box came packaged with Duck Hunt and Super Mario Bros., two of the most iconic games of all time. In addition, it also had one of the best overall libraries, which is why the NES continues today to be one of my favorite consoles of all time. As such, I probably own more Nintendo Entertainment System clones than any others. I've tested a lot of them. Some are good, some not so much. Old Skool, the makers of the Classiq 2 2-in-1 Super NES and NES clone system, are back with the Classiq N, a less expensive NES-only system designed to go ahead and allow you to play your NES games in HD 720p picture and give you full access to the entire NES library. Because of my love for the NES, I'm kind of protective of the way that some systems play NES games. Welcome to Rock Solid Productions, where in this video we are going to unbox and test out the Classiq N from Old Skool. Hey everyone, welcome to Rock Solid Productions. My name is Gary, your host here on the channel. If this is your first time here, I want to take a second and just say thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you checking out what we have going on here on the channel. If you like what you see here, you want to see more, I invite you to check out some of the other videos that we have here on the channel. We have over 300 different videos. And if you really like what you see, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. That way each and every time we come out with new content, you're kept the most up to date. Now the Classiq N is basically the follow-up from Old Skool on their Classiq 2 HD. We reviewed that about a year ago. If you want to see our thoughts on it, check it out up there in the annotation in the upper corner. Now, it's one of the systems that, quite honestly, I was pretty disappointed in. The color palette on the Super NES side, not very good, and the sound on the NES side was pretty craptastic. Now, I'm really curious to see how this plays, and I do have to thank Adrian over at Live Action Games. He did go ahead and let us use this system for this review, so we'll find out exactly how it plays. Now, I've played a lot of NES clone systems. I played some really good ones. I played some really bad ones. So we're going to see how this plays. And in addition, what we're going to do, what we have playing behind us besides the NES Pursuit, make sure you check out the Pixel Game Squad. You can find their information down below in a pinned post. But what we're going to do is not only compare the audio and the video on this, just how it sounds and how it looks, but we're going to compare it to what we have playing behind us. This is my HDMI modded top loader NES, and as you can see behind me, it looks great. Yeah, see how this is going to do too. Let's hit the table and see how this comes out of the box. I know many people don't care about the boxes. We're going to just take a really quick look here. You get a good look at the included controllers. We'll check those out in a second. The overall design aesthetic reminds me, first of all, the power and reset reminds me a lot of the original NES's. The overall design also reminds me a lot of the Gamer's Tech 8-bit HD, which we've also reviewed here on the channel. It has a 16:9 or 4:3 aspect ratio toggle button. Includes two of those controllers. Will play your NES games and has a 720p HD output. Same basic information on the side here and on the back. The Classiq N HD is the answer to clean 8-bit visuals on your fancy HD TV. We'll be the judge of that. Dust off your original NES cartridges? No. You don't dust them off. Use 1-up cards to clean them up. And homebrews to get your game on. So they're addressing homebrews right there. On the back of the console, you can toggle the video's aspect ratio from the original 4:3 to widescreen 16:9, so you can play the way you like it. The Classiq N HD comes with two of our extra comfortable 8-bit controllers, so you and a friend can play together right out of the box. Supports original NES carts, includes two controllers compatible with NES controllers, 720p output, compatible with homebrew, and AV compatible too. So this is just a dust sleeve. We're going to slide the system out, hopefully, without damaging it. I hate when companies do this. It's a box in a box. So first things first, looking on the inside, the system is tiny. It's really, really small. And that's good. I like the small footprint on here. We'll pop that out. And there you can see the size of the system itself. Pretty teeny tiny. Now, this is the business end that we need to pay attention to. Here we have our 16:9 and 4:3 toggle. It pushes in or out. I think I'd prefer a slide switch. I'd be afraid that's going to be broken. It is a micro USB input. I love that. It has your AV outputs if you want to connect this to our CRT. HDMI output on the bottom. Does not appear to have a region switch. I'm interested to see if this is going to light up or not. We'll check that out here in a moment. It does have two of the controllers in there, and it does use a regular NES style controller port, so you can use regular NES controllers on it if you would like. And it does include two of those. AV cables, micro USB cable. It includes an HDMI cable and a power brick. And you guys know, if you've seen any of our other videos, I always want to see what kind of output we have on these bad boys. And this appears to be a 5-volt 1 amp. So I know one thing that many times people ask about is how does it feel to put a cartridge in? So let's test the pins. Aligns pretty easily. Oh, it is a firm grip. I wouldn't call it a death grip. And I'm trying to not bump the tripod right here either. But it does have a good grip on the cartridges. And one thing I did not point out, controller 1, controller 2 ports, so they are labeled. Now I do want to see if this lights up, because that would be kind of slick. So let's hit the power key. Look at that! That's actually... Oh, dude, and it changes colors? Okay, I thought it was just going to be red, but that's actually a neat touch that it has on there. Nice little aesthetic feature that they have added on there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hook this up, and we're going to see exactly how it plays. So before we go much further, I just want to give you an example of what it looks like on 16:9 by 4:3. This is 16:9 mode, obviously. That's what 4:3 looks like. We'll go into the game. There's 4:3, 16:9. So we're gonna play in 4:3 mode just because that's what I prefer. Controller doesn't feel terrible, but it does feel weird. I like the way it's curved around here. It's very thick. It is angled front to back a little bit. These corners are still somewhat sharp, kind of like the original NES controllers. So let's see what it plays like. Now, the one thing on Mario Brothers is always, how do the coins sound? Wow, they are way pitched high, and I'm actually feeling a lot of lag and latency in this. I need to pause my TV because I need to make sure that I'm actually in game mode. Game mode was off, so that was on me. So we are going to turn game mode on. That is important for you anytime that you are playing on a flat panel TV, because I was feeling a ton of latency. Okay, much better already. I'm seeing some artifacting too when Mario was running there. But the audio is very similar to what the Classiq 2 HDs was. It's pitched very high. Not sure what I'm talking about as far as the coins. We are going to pop this into our HDMI equipped top loader NES, and you can hear what the music and the coins sound like on this versus that. Even just the fanfare there does not sound correct. Let's compare it to our top loader. So here you can see the menu screen, the colors quite a bit different. Listen to the coin here now. See how much it's not pitched up like on the Classiq N. And I am actually using the Classiq N's controller. I mean, it's not terrible, but just so that you know that. There again, you can hear the coins and what they sounded like. Without a doubt, there's an audible difference between the two of them. But now, cost is considerably different too. Just the mod for my top loader was over $100. The system itself was over $80. I've got a lot invested in this versus the Classiq N, which is considerably less expensive and allows me to play on my flat panel TV. So keeping that in mind, let's try another game. Now, I showed this playing during the intro. I had to do a little bit of it here. This is the NES Pursuit, of course, starring Riff and Ricky. Ricky! From the Pixel Game Squad. And this is a homebrew done by John Riggs. John Riggs! Okay. Anyways, it does play homebrews, so let's just check it out really quick. We will play as Riff because, as we all know, Ricky sucks. So this is one of those where you have to have both of your characters work together. Oh, I guess I already screwed up here. Alright, so both Riff and Ricky now are together. We have to make sure we don't get hit by Rob. Oh, okay, we're going to see if we can't get the cartridge. Oh, we missed it. I honestly have not played this a ton. I'm sure if I asked Riggs, he would tell me what game this was based on. So go back to there, and then come back to the goal. Just like that, the NES Pursuit works just fine. Now we're going to test out one of the games that, honestly, when you have lag and latency issues, really underscores if there's a problem. We're going to talk Punch-Out! Now, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, or just Punch-Out!, is one of the games that really kind of showed some of the lag issues that the NES Classiq had. Let's test out what it is like on the Classiq N. Color palette doesn't look terrible, but what's going on with Glass Joe's eye? It looked weird as he had his hand up in the sky like that. Yeah, this is even more so, I'm hearing the audio being off here than even Super Mario Brothers. When he sat down, or when he fell down there too, it's very high pitched. I mean, this is just, it's a system on a chip for sure. It just doesn't appear to be a very accurate one. Definitely very similar, I would say, to the Classiq II. Alright, Joe, sit down. TKO in the first round, no big deal. Didn't really feel much lag or latency in it. It felt okay. But man, the audio was bad. It was really, really bad. One of the questions I had was, will it play imports? And this is my German version that I bought when I was actually in Germany of Darkwing Duck. It is a 50 hertz game, being PAL, so you'll hear the music is definitely high pitched, even more so than what the US games were. It was kind of tough for me going, and I've actually now own, after buying this, I bought the US version of this game because I loved it so much. It was kind of hard to go to the US version from the PAL version just because everything does run a little bit faster. Come on, why are we not? There we go. Had to get on the hook there. I will say that the controller is not feeling bad at all. I'm tending to lean my four fingers more into the top of the controller than have my palms digging into the bottom. So where I thought I might have an issue with that early on, it has not been an issue at all. Besides the music being, wrong because it's a PAL game being played on a US system, it looks okay. And this may be where I'm running into some lag and latency on the system, trying to make these precise jumps and not having the system do what it needs to do for me. If you guys want to see a really great playthrough of this, make sure you check out my friend E.C. Myers Vids. I'll have his information posted down below. He has done a complete playthrough on Darkwing Duck, and I've actually learned quite a bit by watching Eugene play through. He does this great series of videos where basically he's playing through the entire NES collection, at least what he owns, alphabetically. Make sure you check out his channel. He's got a lot of great stuff. It does seem to me like the audio is, the best way I can describe it is shallow. It just doesn't have quite as much bottom end. It's almost like what you would find on Genesis clone systems, really, where they don't have that great Genesis sound to it. All right, full life. We're gonna switch to our gas so we can get the Cracker Jack. Wow, here you can, you can really hear how fast the music goes. Trick with this is just to avoid the banana peels up top and use the gas to get them. There we go, we beat Cracker Jack. Yeah, seemed like the music was accelerated even more so than normal. But as you can see, it is the German version, and it does play. The last game we're going to throw in here is we're going to throw in a Famicom game using our 60 to 72 pin adapter. On a recent trip up to Chicago, I actually had a chance to pick up Bonk for the Famicom. How cool is that? I've never played it before. Honestly, I have never played any Bonk's game before, so this is new to me. Ooh, Bonk is super powered now. That was pretty cool. So you can, if you press the B button, he kind of does a, it's the best way I could describe it is it's almost like a POW in Super Mario Brothers. Graphically, it doesn't look bad, but again, not having played it on my, well, never having played it before, I don't know how it's supposed to look. No! Oh! One game I did forget to check out was Castlevania III. We're going to check that out right now, just so that we can see how everything looks. The colors definitely look off to me, I will say that just for starters here. And I am getting similar to what I have on other games too, that vertical stripe that comes across when I jump. You can see it there, how it pops up, that kind of artifacting. I have cleaned my cartridge. I've gotten that same result on a number of different systems, so kind of disappointed to see it here. The palette is definitely a soft one here on the game itself. I mean, the blocks and everything look smooth. Let's check the color here in a moment of the money bag. Yeah, we'll pause the game here. If you look here at the money bag itself, the color is just off, and that kind of goes with the whole palette of the system. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. Battletoads is another game that, quite honestly, many clone systems have issues with and can't get past part of the second level. I'm not going to make you watch and see how bad I am at Battletoads in the first level just to see if it freezes in the second level. But at least here you can kind of see how everything does look on the first level. Alright, so through the first level, let's see if it locks up here going down into the second level. So far, so good. Don't know if these are crows or if they are... oh no, and I fell. But good news is I was able to play through most of level 2 before I died, and it seemed to be okay. Now, it's no guarantee that you can play through the entire level. That is something that is a known issue with many clone systems with Battletoads, but I got pretty far in level 2, so pretty decent. What do I think of the Classiq II HD? So while I didn't get through the entire second level of Battletoads because I suck at Battletoads, I was able to get a lot further than when I've played on other systems and had it locked up, so I think that's a pretty good sign. Now, what do I think of the Classiq N overall? It's a Classiq II HD with just the NES side only. It's really what this is. It plays and feels exactly like the Classiq II's NES portion. And it's not great, it's not completely terrible, but it's really not a great system. But for the money, for $25 to $30, it's okay. If you're looking for something just to hook up in a pinch to be able to play your NES games, it it will do it, but it will not be an authentic way to play it. You're going to notice the audio is off. You are going to notice a little bit of lag and latency to it. The color palette's going to be a little bit off too. But if you just want to be able to play a copy of Super Mario Brothers and know it's going to work, this is going to do it for you. The controller itself was actually a lot better than I anticipated. It's pretty comfortable even with its oddball shape. And I will say too, look at the length of this cord. Yes, this is a proper length for a controller cord. Good on them for having a good length cord with their included controller. Overall, like I say, it's not a great system. It's just not. But it is something that for the money, you're spending less than $30 to get invested in something like this. It will play your NES games, just not the most authentic ways. These are just my opinions though. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I do want to again thank Adrian at Live Action Games for providing this system for us to use for review. If you do have any comments or questions, you can also email me at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. Hit me up on Twitter at RockSolidStudios. You can also follow us over on Instagram at instagram.com/RockSolidProductionsGK. And we do always have the conversation going over on our Facebook page at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions. Now, if you do want to get early access to all of our video content that we do, if you want to help support the channel, have exclusive one-on-one conversations with me and a whole lot more, you can join us over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/RockSolid. For as little as $1 a month, $12 a year, you can help support the future of Rock Solid Productions. You get all those bonus features as well, just like these awesome people that you see on screen right now. And if you want to help support Rock Solid Productions by sporting some merchandise, I'm not even doing that right now myself, head on over to our Teespring store. On screen right now we have t-shirts, sweatshirts featuring the NES, Super NES, and N64 cartridge style logos out there too. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you like what you see here, if you want to see more, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. That way each and every time we do come out with new content, you are kept the most up to date. There are better clone options out there. There are. For the money, this is okay, not great. It does the job of playing your games on your modern flat panel TV. Sometimes that's all you need. I am Gary. This is Rock Solid Productions. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.